This CHAM conference is the 7th edition of this international event organized by CHAM. We thought that something about migrations and diasporas and something involving these subjects could be useful. So we decided to call it On the Move, because we're living in the world in a permanent change. It involves a group of historians, myself and Carla Vieira, and also people from studies of culture and literature, like Margarida Rendeiro and Suzette Albino, and also Pablo Hernandez Sao.
We considered the need also of including new perspective, like new mobility paradigms. At that time, we thought that it was a really good idea to bring together some of the most recognized specialists on the field, like, for example, Mimi Scheller and Tim Criswell.
It's such an important moment for thinking critically about those issues as we face a time of increased border closure and wall building and a security state that is really overturning some of the traditions of welcome and refuge and cosmopolitanism that informed the world that I grew up in. I think it's important that we hold on to a critical perspective of what's happening and that we explore new ways of thinking about the future of transnational mobilities.
She also explained it that movement is not the same as mobility, and how climatic depth produces global north and global south mobilities differentiated. In that sense, she introduced us mobility justice as a concept that has to be developed with new categories like the common mobilities. In the case of Tim Criswell, he's bringing us his new book on the vagabond and the citizen. He introduced some of the new concepts and new approaches to mobility studies that are being developed by him during the last years, and especially in relationship with the new perceptions of how movement means and is studied in geography, sociology, and especially in the new mobility paradigm studies.
My experience at this conference has been great because there's so many people from all over the world, from many different levels in terms of where they are in their academic careers, but also the things that they're talking about. Because mobility embraces mobility from a very small scale to a very large scale, and we've had conversations here about the mobility of people in migration, but also mobility of objects, mobility of animals, mobility of ideas.
I attended the CHAM conference to present a paper about animal mobility, and it was really great to present this in this conference because everyone was really welcoming and they gave a lot of tips to develop my work.
I enjoyed the 3 days, very productive days. I got to meet some new people, new researchers. I also got to see some old friends that I always encounter in these events. My table was very, very heterogeneous and very nice. I loved it, and I also enjoyed very much to see other colleagues presenting various topics and themes of research. The mobility was not only the theme of the event, but also the subject of the people that were presenting here.
The conference will be marked by a very special session, a very exciting moment. This is the Batucadeiras, a session with the Batucadeiras, a group of dancers and singers from Cabo Verde.
Todos nós crescemos de uma forma simples, batucar em cima de uma mesa, isso. Os meus meninos, a mais velha nasceu em Cabo Verde, veio com 11 meses. Os outros 2 nasceram cá. De vez em quando apanhava eles a tocar em cima de uma lata virada ao contrário, em cima de uma tampa da mesa. E é engraçado que sai mesmo o som do batuque. É o que se diz, está no sangue. O batuque é resistência, é independência.
It is a way for the diaspora of Cabo Verde to preserve their own identity. We believe it is important and illustrative of many of the topics covered by this conference.